We're joined by Sean. How you doing, Sean?
Really good, thank you, Porky. Yourself?
I'm okay, mate. I'm all right. Right, there's been some change in what's gone on it since I last spoke to you. Bricktop were put on the spot on Talksport regarding Fury and Joshua. It's the first time I've ever seen him lose his tongue when asked about that fight. What did you make of it?
Not seen that. So what went
Yeah,
on?
yeah, it's on Talksport. Simon Jordan asked him, "Is it going to happen?" He went, "Well." Some days I say no, and some days I say yeah. I mean, what does that mean? It's in talks or what? And then they're talking Fury Usyk free. I just wanted to get your take on that, Sean.
Fury used to, well, Warren being lost for word is a new one. But in terms of Fury Usyk 3, because he's normally quite combative anyway, he says anything, isn't he? But in terms of Fury Usyk 3, I don't know how and why we need to see that. He's lost twice now. Could have been stopped in the ninth in one of those fights, and I think he's lost comprehensively, albeit on point, but with a massive size discrepancy. But I don't know how that could be built. It's not like there's a dodgy, dodgy first decision or a decider or a split decision or a majority. There were clear losses, and he was in his backyard, country-wise, for both. So what a Usyk would want to go down that route is beyond me. He's beat all our Brits twice, and then the practice one once in Chisora. So I don't see any need for it, to be honest. But yeah, why not let Wardley have a shot when he walks through Parker?
Yeah. Do you think Wardley deserves a fight with Usyk if he beats Parker? I do.
I do more so than the Joshuas and the Furies that he's dealt with, and the Dubois he's dealt with comprehensively twice each. Because who else, if not if not Wardley? Tauma far too, regardless of what ranking him out with the belts, far too early. Anyone with any kindness to looking out for him, not yet, because even a 38-year-old Usyk is going to dance around a town as explosive as he is. Wardley's 30. Wardley's grown into his body. Wardley's peak, notwithstanding any amateur stuff, but I can't think of anyone else who might deserve it more than Wardley, particularly when he blasts out Parker comprehensively, which I'm confident he will. Yeah, I'm not a big betting man, but I've got a bet on Wardley to beat him as well.
I've got a bet on Wardley. My mate Scott's got a big lump going on Fabio Wardley to win. So I don't think Wardley win on points. I don't think he's got the style to do that, but
No.
Wardley's only got to connect once, hasn't he, or maybe twice, and that'll be all she wrote, won't it?
Absolutely, and that's why it always makes me when people talk about oh Hughie was beating him on points. He knocked him out. You could lose every round. If he's not going to knock him out, then it doesn't matter, does it?
It's like Liverpool being 3-0 down at half time and winning 4-3 in injury time in second half, isn't it? The
Yeah,
it's a 90-minute game, isn't it?
yeah. Trophy lost. It doesn't say on the bottom, yeah, but you nearly lost. You either won or you lost, and he wins, and he finds a way to win, and it wasn't with a luck shot from the gods. As much as we talk about box size Ben, that was a shot they drilled. So we put it into practice when he had a chance to do so, didn't he?
Yeah. When I first started this channel about 8 years ago, this November coming, another month, I did a video and I said that Bricktop doesn't fall in love with fighters. He only ever did it once, right? And that was Georgie Collins. And back in the day, and not many people will remember Georgie Collins. I lived in London round about that time when he was winning when I was a teenager, and I remember him with Tash and that. And they reckon he was going to be the next big thing, didn't they? And Bricktop
Mm.
totally fell in love with him. He's come out and done a video about that, hasn't he now? But is he more or less saying, I'm not in love with any boxer that I signed now and I treat them all the same?
It would indicate that, and you've mentioned that boxer to me before, and it caused me to have a look into him for like a man who sort of flew high early and then never reached it, retired at 22. Um, but yeah, maybe like I say, if he did fall in love with a fighter, got hurt, if you will, in not in the romantic sense, and you never quite love again if you get stung that early on, because that's quite early on in his promotional career, wasn't it? When he would have probably invested emotionally in the fighter. So, and he's been through everything. Do you know what I mean? Like, we can all. talk about Bricktop, but he's been through everything in the sport, so it probably does harden you to invest in emotionally in the fighters ever again, doesn't it?
Be like Dennis he always used to say to me, fighters, you've got to treat them like mushrooms, feed them shit, keep them in dark. That's one of Dennis,
I've never heard that before.
that's one of Dennis' sayings.
That's such a dark analogy, but I dare say it's a good one.
Well, it's because Dennis's other saying is, yeah, I created a monster. He's running around telling people in the know, that, Russell's doing all right with his Porky's Corner, Dennis. He roasts you for your
But
bubbling,
it's
for your bubbling.
it,
Dennis turns around and says, oh, another monster I created. I know that's a dig at other fighters that he's had over the years that he's worked with and they've gone on to do good things. Whenever they part, Dennis always says, oh, another monster I've created.
well, the mushroom analogy is quite clever, really, because you could also extend it because some of those mushrooms can get you high and you can have highs with them, and some of them can be quite poisonous, can't they?
Yeah, you can. And it's like Mickey Duff saying, isn't it, from when Bricktop first started in boxing, Bricktop took on the cartel, didn't he? A bit
Did.
like, well, the so-called establishment, a bit like Adrian Mole, Ben Shalom going up against Eddie and Frank. It's just like taking them
Yeah.
on. Then it were controlled, won it by them old guys back in the day.
Yeah.
Mickey Duff came out and he said somebody said something about loyalty. He went, "You want loyalty? Get a dog." So, but
Yeah.
I look at that Bricktop quote about Georgie Collins, and I always think he'll never fall in love with another fighter. And you may see him with their arms around fighters and that, like Ricky Burns and Carl Zaggy, and they had good runs with WBO, but they all ended up in court with Bricktop, didn't they?
They did. They did. Often there's a relationship fallout that a company's wound up because he'll win one or the other because he's not stupid, is Frank, is he? Say what you want about him. He's a canny fox in, and he's still here.
Yeah. Simon Jordan said that he's the best matchmaker in boxing, period, on Talksport yesterday. But he forgot to mention he put Amir Khan in with Brady's Prescott, 19 and 0, 18 by way of, against Amir Khan. Amir Khan, who at the time everybody in the industry said, he's got a glass chin. So why would you put him in with a roadman at that time of his career? Bricktop then went on to say, back then after the car fight that it wasn't his doing, but you're a promoter. The promoter
Yeah.
have the last say on who goes in with who. Yeah, we have matchmakers and that, but matchmakers they have a license, they're employed. They might get 150 quid a fight that they put on, but they have all the legwork to do. Ringing up managers, arranging hotels, and if the fighters are coming in from the Commonwealth or African countries, they have to arrange for blood tests and stuff like that.
Yeah.
A lot of messing about and expense and
Yeah.
time and effort. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah. Well, I think the one thing Frank isn't is anybody's victim, so I don't think he'd have let any fight go along, particularly with UK fighters, without his say so.
Olympic
So I
silver
think
medalists we're talking here, aren't
yeah, and that's him trying to. I think that's him trying to pass the can and swerve a bad fight that he allowed to happen because he might have been unheard of, but his record was like you said, he was starching everyone, wasn't he?
Kevin Mitchell beat him though, didn't he, comfortably?
I remember Kevin Mitchell. Kevin Mitchell was one of the few fighters I know that stepped out of the game when he could have got a last payday, saying it's
A
not there
European
anymore.
title fight for 60 grand, yeah.
Yeah,
Uh, Kevin Mitchell, when he fought for, with Linares, the corner made a bad mistake, didn't they? Do you remember the fight?
no, I don't. Oh, I remember the fight, but I don't remember any corner stuff.
They should have. They could have got him a technical win or something, and they missed it. I think it was Slow Tony in the corner. Let's hope that Slow Tony don't make the same mistake with Big Elmer when he
Yeah.
fights in France in next month in a show that should be called Letting It Go in Monaco. What do you
Yes.
think about Elmer's dance partner, cruiserweight?
The Ugandan Express, the King of Kampala.
He's not
Um,
taller than him.
no, I just made it up. I've just made it up, Porky, to try and make him sound better than he is. It's better than saying that fella that's been fighting in a leisure centre. Yeah, it's nothing. It's a really underwhelming card, and it's like I say, I like Conor Walker. I'll watch the Conor Walker fight and the top fight, but the rest They're not fights. They're not fights. Like I say, I don't think Slow Tony's going to be able to change too much about Johnny, who is limited, limited, limited. He doesn't annoy me as much as his dad, and I wish he'd eat his Frey Bentos pie and toddle off, but it's just a really underwhelming card. But one that Eddie's gone out and said is his best card in Monaco ever. Like you said, he's put four on before. It's barely top five. There's only five of them. It's a really weak card, and it's just showing again with Matchroom how much are they really investing in these cards and how much are they really invested in the sport.
Well, I look at it like this, right? That guy will be on 5 bags. He'd be on 5 grand to go there and his hotel paid. But the clientele that they're going to be boxing in front of, what is it, 300 or something like that, plus media, they'll be paying fortunes for that show.
Really?
Yeah, there'll be all tax exiles there, won't they?
Yeah.
Joe Macker, David Coulthard, Miguel Kessler, all them sort of people will be there. Uh, is it something different Eddie's done? No, he's done it before. It's a flash hotel that's apparently 32 quid for a pint of Peroni. So you need money to go there, don't you? But
You do.
we're going to see, aren't we? We're going to see.
Yeah.
But let me just throw this at you here. Opie Price, right, has been out of the game now over 2 years. Billy Joe Saunders, he's had his issues over years. Failed dope test. We're still waiting on the X-ray from his Canelo fight, for his eye socket.
Oh, yes.
Tyson Fury, he had a wild boar, a cocaine, and then a refusal. Uh, he's always going to do this and going to do that. He retires after every fight. Dennis McCann tested positive for injectable steroids, claiming innocence. Yui Fury had his issues. Somebody sent me here blood infections, acne, long COVID, a hand injury, no man strength, and now keyhole surgery on his knee. One common denominator between all those, they're all travelling lads, and that's not a dig at travelling lads, but they've all had the problems, and now we've got Felix Cash coming out saying that he's been absolutely partying like Charlie Sheen. I'm not saying any of these others have. I know Tyson did, but is it
It's
because these kids are from the wrong end? They're not fetched up with silver spoons. It's like a bit like you can take the kid off the camp, but you can't take the camp out of the kid kind of thing. Do they need guidance, young fighters, especially travellers? Because some of them are a bit wild, aren't they? I'm not saying they can't fight. Felix can't
no.
fight, and I thought he was going to throw his career away because he won a good role, wasn't he? Do they need somebody behind them or like the trainer to put the foot down with them? Or once that trainer's gone home, is it out of his hands? It's a bit like with Dominic Ingles, some stickers. Some member of my family said to me, "You shouldn't really give him stick, Russell." I said, "Oh, why is that?" They failed on his watch. If that were Alex Ferguson at Man U, he'd be down the road. But Dominic can't be responsible for what fighters do outside of boxing, can he? Do you see where I'm coming from?
Really interesting point, and obviously I think I've alluded to in the past, my paternal family are pure from that side of the family. I think the external agencies in terms of the life, the communities they live within, set themselves up, some of them for problems because they're intrinsic in terms of bringing it with it. Like I know Billy and have Billy and there's Hope people involved in things outside the ring within the community that are not conducive to living a clean boxing lifestyle in every sense of the word.
You're not saying Billy
So
Joe Saunders isn't multi-skilled and probably one
it
of the best stylists we've ever seen in that from our country. We're not
absolutely.
Howie at all.
Yeah, no, not at all. It's not a denigration of the fighting skills, and I think they've got innate fighting skills. But what they don't seem to be able to do is live the lifestyle that's conducive to living a pure life and getting the best out of community. I think the only one I've seen that seems to do that managed to do navigating too many issues was Andy Lee, um, but he lived in Ireland, so our
He
even
lived with
our
Manny
Irish
Stewart
travel.
as well at one point as well.
It was, and if he did, it was very clear. He lived with Manny, didn't he? If you live
Yeah,
with a manual and you
ouch, yeah.
teach there, if you've got Kronk behind you, yeah, but very few of them have. And they're a very independent-minded, strong-spirited, family-orientated community, and that some of those family values often aren't completely aligned with boxing. And I'm not saying that with any prejudice; it's quite the opposite. And in terms of trainer responsibilities, like you said, you can't mech them you can't live with them 24/7 unless you have them in your house. And even then, you can only do that for a camp. You can't do that for the 24 weeks before the next fight. And that's when the untold damage gets done with the likes of Billy Joe when they blow up, the likes of Tyson when they blow up. So I think it's a little bit of both. I think it's a little bit of they do have a propensity in the community to live like that. And then also they're naturally more prone through to their upbringing to getting involved in trouble and rucks because they're a community that are often at odds with the rest of society, and that's not always their fault either.
Yeah, well, Dominic had them all squashed in a terraced house on the same street he lived on, and he would do it cooking and
Was
whatever.
it?
Yeah, which is good. Like obviously, we're billing them when they got the fight money. When they
Yeah,
got
he's not stupid. They'll be his buy-to-lets, won't they?
well, yeah, but the point I want to make is maybe he couldn't do any more. Maybe I was harsh on him, but this is how I look at it. Surely, shouldn't a trainer spot if his fighter's on the juice? What I mean by that is, or if they're cheating. Did have a bit more zip in the punches at certain points at training camp. Well, this is what other trainers have told me, or they'd spot.
Yeah,
"Well, he's taking a good shot there. Normally, he'd
yeah,
be all over the place with that shot he just took. Little things like that, or going on the runs on an evening, doing like
yeah,
a 36 minutes minimum run. Maybe they're doing it in 32 minutes. You should be thinking,
yeah.
what's going on here? Isn't it their
Yeah.
job to spot it and say, God, you're getting fit, kid? Or
Yeah,
you just,
I prepped people who were ostensibly competing in natural strongman, um, and I knew when they were using, they were just trying to get a quick, better win by competing in a because strongman's not really tested even at the natural level. So you can tell when someone's got more strength and the way they respond, the way they recover as well. So, like you said, if that person's running suddenly 4 minutes quicker for his 5K. He's not become Superman. There's something else involved there. If you're in charge of him and you're seeing it, there's nothing you're doing differently with them. They've just naturally, at 27 years of age, got super fit overnight. You don't need to be a nutritionist or a scientist to know that, do you?
no. No, you don't. I just think it's a shame. I look at them like there. Yui should have been a world champion. Billy Joe Saunders should have been a light middleweight undisputed champion because he's never a middle or a super middle or a light heavy.
Um,
It's a light middle. You don't just go to Olympics as a welterweight and come back and say I'm a middle and then a super middle. It's laziness. Tyson Fury's had it off technically. Felix Cash should have been a world champion. Opie Price, 12 and 0, been missing over 2 years with hand injuries now. You know yourself, I've got a broken left hand and I've
yeah,
got a broken metacarpal right and four tendons on that. And it's 3 or 4 months and job's done for him. So
yeah,
out
two
on two
years.
year, over 2 years now, and
There's
no fight
no,
lined up. So somebody's pissing up my back.
yeah, or pissing tests that
Pissing
aren't
off, and
good.
he's had a silent ban, and nobody can talk about it. His trainer, Bombay Dave's gone quiet on it. Nobody's bringing it up. Where's Opie Price? But then again, where's Big John Fury? Big fight.
Yeah,
The ringer
yeah,
on
but no,
the
you're right.
road.
You're right about Hopi though. Like I say, because he was much fated, much louder, and then nothing, and that radio silence
Dennis
causes.
McCann.
Yeah, yeah,
I don't
and I
know.
think that.
They've all
Yeah,
thought problems. Were Georgie Collins a traveller, age 22, who Bricktop fell in love with?
I'm not sure with that.
I'm not sure. I thought he
Yeah,
was.
I'm not sure. Yeah,
Everybody's fraught with problems, and it makes you wonder what's happening to fighters when they go home from gym, doesn't it? They show promising talent. I mean, I remember Dennis tried to sign Billy Joe Saunders. He bought everybody on the plane to Beijing a watch. David Price, the kid who committed suicide, what was it, Darren Sutherland,
the Irish fella that Maloney had. Yeah,
uh, James DeGale, Frankie Gavin, Billy Joe, and Dennis were like, all these are absolutely going to be superstars, all of them. And who did it really work out for? James DeGale won a world title, didn't he? Billy
yeah.
did, but were they superstars?
No, but Billy was taking the P. Even you remember from the camp, Billy were running around the Olympic Village, getting up to all sorts, and that's why he didn't perform at the Olympics as well. And Frankie didn't even get there, did he?
Yeah, Dennis bought them all a tag, I think, brand new tag, cost him about 30 grand for all of them. And he thought he was going to get a sign, and he didn't get none. Bricktop nipped in and got the lot, didn't he? And
Probably
remember,
got probably got the watches as well.
that was Dennis's shortcut to success. So, mate, Dennis, you're not a you're not a closer. But listen, it's been great to have you on, Sean. I hope you're well.
My pleasure. Feeling really good, Porky.
All right. Well, listen, you take care and have a great weekend.
Fantastic, and I'll see you next Friday.
Take care, mate. Bye-bye.
Bye bye, mate.
Bye. That was Sean from Umberside. Women love him, men want him to train him at the gym. That's about it, really. I better get ready. Get a bit of the old sabarge on. And I'll hit the hard road. It's an hard life, innit? Propping a bar up when it's your birthday weekend. Billy no mates. Go on, peace out. Max, I hope you're well. Okie dokie. I'll see you next Friday with Big Ron. You know why they call him Big Ron, Max? Because his ideas about bubbling stories are big. Oh, peace out.